Hi everyone, it's Leanne from River Creations. Thanks for joining me today. Now I am a little bit into my dolls at the moment. I like to go and have a look at them and touch up their hair. I normally use this sort of comb. It's a big sawtooth comb, and this actually used to fluff up the hair so it doesn't damage it. So this is a really good dolls comb. I have a few other videos on my dolls, my collection. I'm not a doll expert, and I don't pretend to be, but what I do is I study up and learn all I can about what's available. Now, the very first doll, you'd have to go back to when I first started YouTube to find out the story of my Crissy doll. This is Chrissy. Um, I was bought one in 1969, and I was in hospital. I was 8.5 years old. And all I wanted was the grow hair doll, and this is the star of the grow hair doll show, and that's Chrissy, and this is beautiful Chrissy, 1969, and I keep her in this box to protect her because she's an original. I'm just going to put this down. There we go. That's her case. She is a very beautiful doll. She has this auburn hair, as you can see. I've got her in curlers, like all my dolls. I try and keep them in curlers and keep their hair supple, and I comb it regularly, and I leave them in curlers so that the curl's always there. She has this beautiful auburn hair. I think they say that it's cinnamon and another colour mixed in, but it's an auburn. And most of the dolls from this vintage, they cut the hair. I don't know why, but even I cut my original Chrissy because they either advertised it that way or it was just around the traps that that's what people did. If you want, she grew a hair, you thought you could cut it and then it grew it back, but it didn't. We're only young girls. So a lot of dolls' hair consequently is being cut. I'm not sure whether this Chrissy here's haircut. I don't think so. I think it's all its natural self. And as you can see, very beautiful hair. She has also black pupils, or pupil-less eyes, but they're black. So you can see that they're black. Maybe if you get a bit closer, you'll be able to see it. Her eyes are black and pupilless. There we go. There she is there. She also has comes with a beautiful wardrobe. One of the best dolls I've ever seen for a wardrobe. She's a preteen. She's 18 inches tall. Yes, she's pretty tall. And she's very leggy. So she's very leggy. And that's how they made her. Now, this is her original dress. It is an actual, what was it? It was a mini dress, an orange one. So it's a mini dress, so it's above the knees here. You can see how mini it is, like a mini skirt. It was orange lace overlay, and you can see the orange lace, which is an unusual colour for a doll's dress. None of the other dolls came with that orange lace overlay or orange dress. She had an orange flocked bow, which is this one here. It's flocked. As you can see on one side, it's got a sort of a velvet flocked and straight satin on the back. So that's what they call flocked, and it was just there on her neckline, the bow. And she had orange panties with the white lace at the bottom, just like that. So very simple pants to match the dress. She also, her shoes, if you go down to her shoes, you can see that they're pretty flat. So they're flat shoes. They're orange, once again, pardon me, and they're vinyl. And they are absolutely stunning shoes. Very low heel, flats. And it has a molded bow just there on the foot. Maybe I can show you that. So she has this bow that's molded on the foot. And these beautiful low-heeled flat shoes. Vinyl. Beautiful orange. Once again, I don't think I've seen too many dolls with that color combination. So that's what makes her unusual. Her hair actually touched the floor, the first original ones. It touched the floor, and then later on they modified that, and it just came to her just under her bottom, the length on the first issue. So in the very first issue, it went to the floor, and then only not long after that, they took that and changed it to just under the bottom, which this one is. So she's cheeks. Let's start with the face. If you have a look at the face, as I said before, she's pupilless. So she's got no pupils, and they're black. She also has these cheeks that are lightly blushed, as you can see. Maybe you can't see, and I'll come in again. So her cheeks are lightly blushed. Her lips, and guess what they call that colour? Carnation pink. Carnation pink lips, and they're just apart, the lips, enough to see her white painted teeth, and it just gives her a nice, just a slight smile, and that's quite beautiful. She is quite beautiful. So that's her hair, her face, her clothing, her long legs, and the fact that she's preteen. And her style of clothing is very, very beautiful. It's not fashion of the day. I mean, if you think about Barbie, born in around the same era, 1969, some of the Barbies of that era, they were all blonde, and they had a bust line. Well, she doesn't have a bust line, but a start of a bust line, so that's why they know it's a preteen. And the Barbies had a bust line, and she had blonde hair, didn't she, Barbie? She was very distinctive, Barbie. Well, this one's distinctive because the hair is auburn, and it is very, very beautiful. The only other thing I haven't showed you about her is the fact, I'll just take her off a stand. Oh, there we go. The only other thing about her is, I'm just going to stretch her out so she's looking around, is the fact that on her navel she has a push button. And this is where, and you push it in, it has a mechanism. And if you go around the back, just put her hair to the side there, she has a wind up, yes, a wind up to wind up her hair. And if you wind it, her hair goes short to about there, or to her shoulders actually. And then to release that hair, all you do is press the button on the tummy. And let's do that and see if I can pull some more hair out. Yes, I can. Just only about an inch, because that's all I wound up. So she has that knob on the back, and that push button knob on the front, and the wind up knob on the back, of course. So that's Crissy. Now Crissy is quite beautiful. My favourite doll from my era. It was the start of the baby boomers. These dolls were made, and they were big here in Australia and also America and England as well. And her hair, I like to just comb the hair now and again just to keep it supple, and it is so beautiful and shiny. I have washed these dolls, I've washed their clothing, I've really looked after. I've used Doll's shampoo that really makes their hair very, very shiny. So you can see that when you shine it up, it gets even more lustful. I'll show you with her hair undone, because it's nice to see the doll fully look. Right, I haven't used these for a long time. See how that curl stays? I like to keep the curls in the hair. They are beautiful. And there's her hair. Stunning. And if we comb it, we can just comb it so it's all subtly beautiful. Just like that. See how gorgeous that is? Gorgeous. So if I wind her hair up a little bit, just keep watching the top of her head. You can see it winding up. Like that. Right, so we've wound it up like that. Now we're going to push the button on her tum-tum. And we're going to pull her hair up. And there it is back again, long. That was fun. I love that wind up. Gorgeous. And I love the push button stomach. But anyway, there's the first Crissy, 1969. I don't think her hair's been cut. I think it's just fine. It's beautiful. It's been kept well, this doll. And her clothes has been kept well as well. So there you go. That's Crissy, 1969. And not one of the first originals, but one of the first dolls that was created. The first one, as I said, had long hair to the ground. Then they modified this, but that was still 1969. So it's a pretty old doll. It's a second issue doll. Not the first. First issue, as I said, was the long hair. So we can put her hair back and play with her a little bit longer. And I can show you how I did that. Put her hair away. First of all, I combed it and put it on my finger like that. So it's on my finger like that. Then you put paper around it like that. And then bring it down so it covers the curl as well. And you get your doll's curler, and then just give it a wind. There you go. Actually, it needs to be wound just a tiny bit more so those curls can go over. Now the paper helps it to go over like that. There it is. I haven't done that properly, so I'm going to do it again. It's very simple. Put that there on the stem of the hair, then you pull that down so the end of the hair is actually, curl part is in the paper. And this is where we put our curl on and give it a decent old go. Like that, and I think I've got it this time. Ta-da! There, done it. And that's all it is. Let's do the second one. Give it a bit of a comb. I should really have her on a stand, shouldn't I? Okay, so we're going to comb the bottom of the hair up. I'm going to put our paper on. And then we're going to come down over the curl like that. Keep it straight. Then we're going to curl it. And then we're going to put the curler on. There we go. Perfect. Back again. Gorgeous. Okay, so there she is. Now I just leave her on this stand because this stand is for 20-inch dolls. So I use that for her. I'm just going to come under here and here. I'm going to leave her right there. There she is. And I'm going to cover her up, put her back in a box and put her up on my shelf. And there's Chrissy, 1969. So thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. Looking at my doll, doing her hair up and putting her back and checking out her clothes. And there you go. Bye for now, everyone.